What is going on, guys? DB Sports here, back. As I'm sure you guys all know, or at least those of you that follow the NFL, I'm sure you guys know, there is a rule in place called the Rooney Rule. Basically, it's to try to keep, minority coaches involved, so that there's not every single coach in the league is white. I guess I don't really know the whole statistics of it, or I don't know the whole gist of it, but that's basically what it is. Is to try to keep it equal. It's not really doing all that great of a job, and so the NFL. This is an article by Jim Trotter on NFL.com. I'll be sure to link that down below so you guys can take a look at it. You can listen to all the videos and all that. I'm just going to kind of go over the main points of it. So basically, the article is titled "Owners to Vote on Resolution to Incentivize Minority Head Coach GM Hires." Now, I'm going to tell you why this is a bad idea. This is a lose-lose situation. Nobody wins in this situation. Minority coaches don't win. White coaches don't win. The NFL doesn't win. Coaches as a whole don't win. Nobody wins if this goes through. Even if it doesn't go through, nobody wins. And I'm going to tell you why. So first of all, sources spoke on the condition of the anonymity because sensitive nature. Okay, yeah. But if resolutions were to be voted in under the league policy on equal employment and workplace diversity, they would work as follows. So this is basically what they're voting for. The team hires a minority head coach. That team in the draft preceding the coach's second season would move up 6 spots from where it is slotted to pick in the third round. The team would jump 10 spots under the same scenario for hiring a person of color as its primary football executive, a position more commonly known as general manager. So basically, you hire a minority coach, and you get rewarded by jumping up 6 spots in the third round. So if you've got a top, let's say you've got the 10th pick in the third round, now you got the 4th pick in the third round. Or if you hire a GM that's a person of color to be your GM, you jump 10 spots. So I assume if you have the 8th pick, I assume you just go up to the first pick in the third round. I don't exactly know. If a team were to fill both positions, that club could jump 16 spots, so 6 for the coach, 10 for the GM, and potentially move from the top of the third round to the middle of the second round. Okay, so it sounds like if you are the 5th spot and you hire a coach to move up 6 spots, you move to the last pick of the second round, I guess. Bumping everybody back. Another incentive, a team's 4th round pick would climb 5 spots in the draft, preceding the coach or GM's 3rd year if he's still with the team. It is considered significant because Steve Wilkes and Vance Joseph, 2 of the 4 African American coaches hired since 2017, were fired after 1 and 2 seasons respectively because they weren't good. So let me explain how this isn't a win for anybody. So it's not a win for white coaches because, as is the case right now, there are people saying that black head coaches aren't being hired even if they're better than white coaches because they're white. So this is just vice versa of that. 2 wrongs do not make a right. If you think racism is happening, the answer to racism isn't racism. I can't believe this has to be said. So basically, they just want to flip it and say, hey, white coaches shouldn't get hired over black coaches because of their race. That's what this is saying. Now, they try to hide this by saying a team would jump preceding the coach's second season. Oh, so the coach has to be with them a whole year. Basically, they have to be there until the draft. I assume that they're not gonna. I mean, they might get penalized if they fire them after the draft or something, or I don't know. yeah, and if a GM, this doesn't help white or black GMs either for the same reason, obviously. But it also doesn't help minority coaches. And you might be thinking, David, obviously it helps minority coaches. They're getting hired. They're not getting hired for the right reasons. Now every black coach that gets hired, if this passes, every minority coach that gets hired has to think to themselves, did I get hired because I'm a better coach than everybody else that they had lined up? Or did I get hired so that the team could try to benefit its draft position up to 16 spots, 6 if you're coach, 10 if you're GM, 16 if you're both, to try to get better? If it was like a 5th round pick or a 6th round pick, or, this whole thing just didn't exist in the first place, there wouldn't be an issue with this. An early 3rd round pick into a mid 2nd round pick is a big jump. So now every coach has to have that, even if it's in the back of their mind, even if it's not their top priority or top concern. They always have to be thinking, did I get hired as a coach so that we could jump up in the draft? Is that the only reason? Or if they're a GM, now there's all that much more pressure on you to nail that draft because you moved up a third of the... If you're a GM, a minority GM, and you get hired and you're there until your 2nd season, you move up a third of the round. A third of the league you just skip by because you're a minority GM. This isn't a win for anybody. And even if it doesn't pass, the fact that this idea was thrown out is stupid. It's ridiculous. It's insulting to coaches and general managers of all races and ethnicities and ethnic backgrounds. It's just insulting to everybody. This is an embarrassment to the NFL, frankly. If you think that there's racism going on, the answer to it isn't reverse racism or racism. It's not the answer. I don't know what it is, but that's not my job to figure out. That's not what I'm getting paid to do. I'm getting paid to do nothing because I'm not getting paid to do anything. So, I will link this article so you guys can follow what's going on. I'm sure that this is all with good intentions, but the answer to racism isn't more racism, and I can't believe that has to be said now. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think that I'm way off the rails? Do you think this is going to solve anything? Tell me about how messed up I am and how degenerate and racist I am for putting this video out down below in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new to the channel and you want to see more, and I will see you guys next time.